Hey, what is going on? It is Tim Williams, and we are going to break down today's early MLB slate over on DraftKings. We have 6 games to talk about here. It is Wednesday, June 15th. If you're new to the channel, what's going on? My name's Tim. We're going to go through each and every one of these games here one by one. We're just going to talk pitching, hitting, some matchups, talk about ISO, talk about just things that I think are really going to help us out on today's slate. If that sounds good to you, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We're gonna have a good time here. So this is definitely a little bit more of a challenging slate. First look in the morning. First game here, we have the Marlins taking on the Phillies. Castano taking on Gibson. Castano, I remember him from last season, just kind of not a great pitcher here. He's at the minimum price, 4K for a pitcher. Probably just, yeah, a bullpen type of game here. And the Marlins have an average bullpen at best. On the other side, Gibson at 7K. I think the price is nice. 21.1% strikeout rate here, 402 xFIP, 26% fly ball rate. Just really doesn't have that total upside ceiling that we're kind of looking for in DFS. He has pitched well over the last 30 days. I think it's a tougher matchup for him. Believe it or not, the Marlins are fourth in OPS versus right-handed pitching. I definitely have some interest in bats here. Chisholm, 4.9K, 344 ISO against right-handed pitching. Sanchez, 3.3K. I think that's a cheap or a decent price tag for him with some upside here. Aguilar at 2K. I think this is just a clear misprice here. I don't know if the DraftKings has been pricing him this cheap this season, but 201 ISO against right-handed pitching. I think that's just like a give me like a free square type of play at that price with his upside. On the other side with the Phillies, Hoskins, 4.1K. He's been red hot, 344 ISO against left-handed pitching. Castano might only go a couple innings here. Harper at 5.8. I think he's always in play. Schwarber, 4.6K. I think he's in play. There's other Phillies bats that are decent. These are just like the three of my favorites. There's obviously upside with like Castellanos, et cetera, Bohm. Going through these games, this might be the best one. I might be just doing a bunch of mini stacks today, like 3-3-2 or something like that. I don't know. We shall see, but that's up to you. Next, we have the White Sox and the Tigers. Velasquez taking on Fado. Velasquez 7.9K, coming off a groin injury. Good matchup here, but it does come with risk. Velasquez not a great pitcher himself, and coming off an injury, hasn't pitched in a while. And then on the other side, Fado at 7K. I think he's too expensive. Probably a tougher matchup in theory. 18.5% strikeout rate here, 4.99 xFIP. It's just a tough strikeout matchup for him. The White Sox don't really strike out a ton, but they are struggling against right-handed pitching this season. Tigers fifth best bullpen ERA, believe it or not. So you can make the arguments to play the bats here, but I think I'm going to look somewhere else. I'm sure the White Sox are going to be getting a ton of ownership, but I don't really love the ballpark that much. They are struggling. I see where the upside is, but we'll see. On the other side, Tigers also very terrible against right-handed pitching. Like, they have been one of the worst baseball offenses to watch all season. They need to just show me some more consistency or just improve in general for me to kind of get there. So I might just be off this game. It's kind of ugly. Pitching's ugly. Bad matchups all around. So I don't know. Who knows? It could be one of those games that just blow the slate up. But next game here, Astros Rangers. Garcia on the mound for the Astros, taking on Miller for the Rangers. Garcia 9.2K. It's fairly pricey, I would say, for his upside. 24.4% strikeout rate here. 46% fly ball rate, which I don't really love. He does give up a ton of fly balls. 4.78 xFIP. I don't really love that either. Astros do have the best bullpen ERA in all of baseball, but they also have the lowest strikeout total for relief pitchers in all of baseball, but they do not give any or many home runs. So that's the caveat there. On the other side with the Rangers, I think it's a tough matchup for them. Rangers bullpen is a bit better this year than in previous years. I don't know too much about Miller. Don't care to be honest. Astros bats, I think they're always in play. It's a small slate. They are kind of pricey though. Alvarez 5.7K would be my favorite Astros bat here. 392 ISO against right-handed pitching. Tucker at 5.1. He hit a bomb yesterday. Altuve 5.5. They're just kind of pricey. If you can get there, I think, they're fairly in play. But other than that, I mean, the bottom of their order is kind of dicey. So I don't know about wrapping it around with a full stack. If I got the money to pay for those three, I probably would. On the other side with the Rangers, I just don't have a ton of interest here. Garcia really isn't a bad pitcher. However, he does give up a lot of fly balls, but I don't know. He can go 5 innings, 6 innings, and then that bullpen can come in. And I don't know how, what the upside is with the Texas Rangers today. Next game, probably the most interesting game as far as variance goes, is the Reds taking on the Diamondbacks. Castillo 8.2K, taking on Gallen at 8.5K. A couple of good pitchers here that's had some moments in their career. Castillo 23% strikeout rate here, 8.1% walk rate, 3.95 xFIP here. Just having a pretty decent season. You think this is a pretty good matchup for him. He does struggle against left-handed batters, and Arizona might roll out 9 lefties. But there are some K upside. There are Ks to be had there. So very much a high variance situation. He can go out there and just steamroll this team, or these lefties can just pounce on him, and then they'll have to go to their bullpen, and they have the worst bullpen ERA in all of baseball. So you kind of have to build a little game script here. So I do have some interest in there because of that variance. On the other side, Gallen 8.5K, 23% strikeout rate as well, 4.43 xFIP. Just been kind of riding the struggle bus recently. He started out real hot to start the season. This last month or so has not really looked good for him. I think it's a good matchup for him. So I don't have a ton of interest on the Reds in general. There's other offenses I might want to kind of sneak in there. On the other side, Diamondbacks have been struggling like the past week or so, or at least it feels like that. So if you're not interested in Castillo, I think you can definitely play the bats. Varsho at 4.4K, 225 ISO against right-handed pitching. Walker, he's been hitting very well this season, 3.9K, 247 ISO against righties. Peralta at 3.8, I think is fine. Thomas at 3.2K matches up pretty well here. So you can probably get 3 bats out of there if you really wanted to. But yeah, it's an interesting game to say the least. Next here, we have the Royals taking on the Giants. The wind is blowing out here. It's not really a great ballpark to hit in general, right? They kind of built it so the winds don't really affect it that much, but they are blowing out. So, makes the park kind of neutral. It's a day game. But Heasley taking on Hiye. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Heasley 6.1K. 6.15 xFIP. Enough said there. Royals also have a bad bullpen. On the other side, you got some tall, lanky dude out there. He is 6'11". Just not a ton of upside here, though. I guess as far as like DFS goes, like he might only go a couple innings here. So Giants bullpen really hasn't been that great either. But Perez on the Royals, I think if you have the salary at 5.2K, I'm not sure what his ownership's going to be like, but he does have upside always, and the wind is blowing out, I guess. Giants, Peterson at 4.3K, 301 ISO against right-handed pitching. I think that's a great price for him. Definitely some double dong upside. Yastrzemski 4.1K, 258 ISO against right-handed pitching over the last 30 days. So that's kind of intriguing there. And then you have a couple other guys that are just kind of underperforming. Belt at 4.8K, I think should be in the lineup. Gonzalez is probably leading off at 2.8K. You could probably get some sort of like mini stack here. They're just underperforming compared to last season. So I think it's just maybe an interesting play here with some decent weather. And then last but not least, the Twins and the Mariners. But before I finish this one off, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'm not doing these videos every day. And you can also follow me on Twitter, Tim Williams DFS. Maybe I'll kind of let you guys know when I'll be making a video for that day. And yeah, last one here, Gray taking on Gonzalez. Gray 8.8K, coming off a pectoral strain, IR stent. Previous to that, 29.9% strikeout rate here. 3.62 xFIP, which is excellent. He's been pitching very well. He did not have a rehab stint, which makes me feel like they feel comfortable letting him go out there. I don't know if they'll, let him go the distance, but in a small slate, 8.8K, I don't hate it. Gonzalez on the other side, 6.5K, 14% strikeout rate here, 5.61 xFIP, just been pretty terrible. Much worse against left-handed batters, but Twins will roll out mostly right-handed bats here, so that kind of sucks. But Twins, I think, are in play. Again, I kind of like maybe like a mini stack here. I think Byron Buxton at 5.2K is just far too cheap. 400 ISO against left-handed pitching. I think this matchup lines up well for him. Larnick, 2.6K. He's probably going to be the one lefty bat in there, and I think he does have some pop, some power upside there. So that's nice at his price. And then you got Correa at 4.9K. I think he has some upside. Polanco, 4.6K. Been kind of struggling, but I think he has upside against left-handed pitching. If I had to choose like a three-man stack, I wouldn't mind like Buxton, Larnick, and maybe Polanco. And then that'll be kind of it for the Twins. On the other side, I don't really love the bats here against Sonny Gray. Trammell, I think, has been hitting fairly well. 2.5K. I think he's just a cheap bat if I needed a one-off, but probably not going to go there. Tougher spot in general against the Twins here, but that is it. My name is Tim. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Best of luck in your contests. And before you X out of this video, make sure to hit that like button. I appreciate it. Take care. Good luck. Peace out.